Hi everyone, my name is Moni.
And I'm Naveen from Before You Play.
And welcome to day number 6 of our 12 Days of Board Games. So we are showcasing one game a day.
Yeah, this one today is designed by Annick Lobet and published by Scorpion Masqué. It is Teenz Evolution. This is the follow-up sequel to Kidz Evolution, but they are separate games. They are standalone completely.
This is completely standalone, like Naveen was mentioning, and it is a legacy-style game. So the first game that came out, which was Kidz Evolution, was very, very successful. Both of these games are primarily targeted at kid gamers.
Younger audience.
And so for any of you out there who have played other legacy-style games like Pandemic Legacy or Clank Legacy, this is that for kids.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a ton of fun. We are going to show you how to play it and give a little bit of a review at the end. So let's get started. All right, so we are all set up here for a 2-player game of Teenz Evolution. You may have noticed that there is a third person. There are 3 characters here in the middle. And that is because in a 2-player game, you start with a third neutral player kind of right in the middle in the school there.
Yep, exactly.
And so just to kind of show you around, in the middle of the board here is our school. We are protecting our school from the zombie hordes.
Yes.
And in this game, the zombies come in 4 different flavors. We have purple, red, blue, and green. The rest of the board is kind of like the neighboring town. We have different establishments all around here that correlate to the 4 different colors of zombies.
Yeah, we have the police station, we have the arcade, we have the hospital, and we have the burger joint.
That's right. And so this is a totally cooperative game where players are going to be working together to try to deliver all 4 food crates back into the school before all 4 of the establishments get run over by zombies.
Exactly.
So the way the game works is each player is going to be taking turns around the table, and on your turn, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to roll this die. Now this die has 2 main symbols on it. There are the 4 different colors that correlate to the zombies themselves, and then there are 2 question mark symbols on them. So when you roll the die, if you roll any of the 4 colors, then it's going to activate a zombie horde.
The zombie of that particular color.
That's right. We start the game with 1 zombie on the board, and each zombie has its own starting sewer spot. If I roll any of the other colors of zombies that start off the board, then it would bring the zombie onto the board, starting in its sewer spot. If I were to roll the green symbol, then it would actually progress my zombie forward following these footsteps. And the zombies are always walking towards the establishment of their color. If the zombie ever reaches its building, then that building will get overrun, and we cover it up with this spot here. It has no effect on the food crates, but from now on, this establishment has a trampoline on it. And so if any zombie were to enter this building, it would actually trampoline over to the next building in clockwise fashion, making this building become overrun as well.
Yep.
Once a building is overrun, that is irreversible. If you're unable to bring all 4 food crates back to the school before all 4 establishments become overrun, then all players automatically lose.
Yep.
But we are not overrun yet. So say I were to roll the green die, then this zombie would move forward this way. If I were to roll either of the question mark symbols, then I would pull one of these event cards and just resolve the event. So, there are 6 of them to start the game. And this is just one example of it. This is a taxi, and the taxi allows you to immediately place your hero on the space of your choice. So these are going to do a lot of different things. Sometimes it's beneficial and sometimes it's bad. So after resolving the die, then whoever the active player is going to take their actions. Players can take at most 2 actions, and there are 3 different actions that you can take. And you can also choose to take the same action twice. It's up to you. So the 3 different actions you can take are moving. And so moving allows you to move your player to an adjacent space. And space adjacency here has to do with these dashed lines. So from the school, I could basically move to any of the surrounding areas.
Yep, on the street.
As long as it's not any of these 4 corner buildings, because they're not considered adjacent. So let's say I moved into here. The second type of action you can do is you can attack a zombie horde as long as you are in the same space as the zombie. So I can just say, okay, for my second action, I'm going to attack this zombie horde. It leaves the board and goes to the back of this line right here. And the third and final action is probably the main point of the game, and it is transferring these food crates so that you can bring it to the school. So in this game, it is not possible for one player to deliver a food crate on their own. You truly have to work together by passing them from player to player. And so if your character is in a space that contains a food crate, you can spend an action to pass it to an adjacent player. So whoever this is can say, I'm going to take 1 action to pass it to that person. It also works the other way around. So say the food crate were here and it were this player's turn. This player can spend an action to take the food crate from an adjacent player as long as they are in the same space as the food crate.
Exactly, yep.
Because of this rule, a player has to be in the school in order for you to deliver the food crate back into the school. That is also the reason why in a 2-player game, you play with a neutral player in the school to make it just a little bit easier to bring the food crate in.
So you don't have to to move into there, it would be almost impossible to get things going.
It would be tough.
Yeah.
And once all 4 of these food crates have made it back into the center of the school, before all 4 of these locations become overrun, then the entire table wins.
Yep. And so that was the basic rule set of the game. What makes this game really, really exciting is the legacy aspect of it, where you'll be uncovering different things and making adjustments and changes to the way the game is played.
And so we're not going to give anything away. There's going to be a spoiler-free kind of review, but I do want to show you how that part works. And so in the rule book, at the very, very back of the rule book, there are several different challenges that players can go on. So whenever you play the game, it's a little bit fresh. You always have the same goal of bringing the food crates back to the school, but there are other challenges that you can kind of complete along the way. And so at the very back of the rule book, there is like an accomplishment track as well as a progress track. And so for every game that you play, you're going to place a sticker along this progress track. And once it hits any of those envelope milestones, you're going to open up that envelope in the box and you're going to see what it says. There are a lot of different components in the box that are going to change the way that you interact with this game. There are definitely going to be some rule changes. And just without giving anything away, that is probably the most exciting part of the game. The excitement of opening these envelopes and seeing how you're going to play it again differently.
Right.
Just playing this game alone, I think we can vouch for it and say that this is probably going to be a huge hit amongst the younger gamers. But we do highly recommend this if you have kids or even just want to do a legacy style game that's not as involved as some of the ones that are out there. This is not just fun for kids. It's actually kind of tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
We almost lost the first time we played. So if you want a fun, exciting legacy style game that has a cute theme, then this one is probably the right one for you.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and thank you for joining us on day 6 today of our 12 days of board games. We are halfway there.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will be day 7, so we'll be presenting a new game, another game, and we hope you join us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.